Hello. The gospel lesson for this Sunday comes from John chapter 2, and is about the wedding feast at Cana. Well, at the end of John chapter 1, year A's reading for this Sunday, Andrew, a fisherman, and John and some friends ask this teacher they've just met, "Rabbi, where are you staying?" "Come and see," Jesus replied. Come and see. These three words entice us. They challenge us. They invite us. They call us to step into the unknown in the hope that what we've come to see is worth our while. The words call us into relationship. They call us into faith. In the season of Epiphany, we're all called to come and see so that we may respond in faith. Part of God's nature is that God wants to be known to us. God comes to us in ways we can receive. The heart of God, the most intimate personalness of God, desires to be known to us and in us, the creatures God has made. God did this through Jesus, as John understood when he wrote, "No one has ever seen God. It is God, the only Son, who is close to the Father's heart, who has made him known." In other words, God wants to come to us in a new, unprecedented way. But this divine revelation doesn't happen in a vacuum. It always happens in relationship, always involves some encounter. It was this kind of encounter with Jesus, which was the origin of every New Testament writing. Andrew had this kind of encounter walking with John and then following Jesus. God became real for Andrew that day when Jesus said, "Come and see," and Andrew followed. On a dark night in Persia, 3 astrologers were making their nightly observations when a single star somehow beckoned to them. Come and see. Aware of the prophecies of a Messiah, but unsure what they meant, the Magi dropped everything, packed the best presents they could find, and followed that star until it stopped over a squalling baby. They did not understand, but they followed. In that star, God revealed God's self to be God to the Gentiles, to Jews, and to us. Have you ever heard the invitation to come and see? Maybe someone said to you, "Come and see what the Episcopal Church is like." And you did. And you found Christ, or Christ found you, in a new and deeper way. When the voice whispers, "Come and see," it's asking us to become disciples by following. Nothing else. Not even doing everything right, but just following. The wise men didn't understand where they were going, but they followed the star. Abraham didn't know where he was bound when God said, "Go," other than to a place that I will show you. Yet he followed. These followers learned, as do we all, that along the way the gospel is as much discovered as it is disclosed. The call to come and see calls us out of paralysis. It calls us to explore, to see, to do what we can do, leaving the rest in God's hands. Take small steps and see what happens. Perhaps there's a first small step that you, as a disciple of Jesus Christ, can take. Perhaps you're being called out of paralysis into deeper discipleship. If you're being called to come and see, God will meet you along the way. Those first disciples were not called to go somewhere in particular. They were called to go anywhere Jesus might lead. Following Jesus is not about intellectual certainty. It's not about ethical perfection. It's not about saying that organized religion is perfect. Rather, to follow Jesus is to come and see, to remain with him, to abide with him, simply to be with him for a while and see what happens. To be with him in worship, to be with him in Bible study, to be with him in service to our community, to be with him in the joys and sorrows of a congregation of imperfect fellow travelers. During this Epiphany season, be open to God's self-revelation and respond. Follow. Come and see. See you soon.